He promised togetherness. She promised presence. Instead, they found absence. When Christine Brown moved her life to Flagstaff for her marriage with KODY Brown, she expected days filled with connection, but saw him only once or twice a week. And when Dayton Brown crashed the ATV on that fateful trail, KODY was allegedly there, but silent. In the next hour you'll uncover how one man's divided time and one accident's hidden witness opened deep rifts in a family built for cameras, but destroyed by secrets. What happens when you're married but still waiting? When you're part of a family but still unseen?
They love the competition between the women.
Rescue, but instead you're left wondering who even knew you were falling. Part 1. It begins in the wide-open spaces of rural Utah, where the large blended family of the Browns thrived in front of cameras, friendly faces, family dinners, laughter and the promise of togetherness. The youngest adult son, Dayton Brown, grew up in that world, among siblings, polygamist-style households, and constant filming. But beneath the smiling facade something darker hovered. Pressure, expectation and a fear of failure. When the cameras stopped rolling, the cracks widened. Then came the accident. One summer afternoon, Dayton mounted an ATV. A trail. A misjudged turn. The machine flipped. His helmet strap pulled. He hit hard. At hospital the injuries were severe. Facial trauma, dislocated jaw, one eye damaged, a long recovery ahead. Reports say his life changed forever. Friends and family stayed quiet, until now. Only a handful of people truly know what happened next. And one of them, Dayton says, was his father. Enter the twist. According to Dayton's older half-sister, Meri Brown, there was someone else on that trail. Someone who didn't speak up for Dayton. Someone whose presence raises unsettling questions about loyalty and truth. Meri claims that her stepfather, KODY Brown, was on site that day, and didn't intervene when Dayton needed help. Was it an accident, or the spark that lit a family rupture? Because after that day, Dayton retreated. He withdrew. He stopped returning calls. He vanished from family life. Months turned into years. The cameras continued rolling for the family, but Dayton's chair at the table stayed empty. Conversations avoided the crash. Shared vacations excluded him. The once tight sibling clan grew distant. Fans of the show started asking, why isn't Dayton around? What did the family decide? And behind closed doors, a schism grew deeper. Meanwhile, Meri's revelations added injury to insult. That not only did KODY know, but may have chosen silence. Here is the moment the world shifts. We learn that Dayton signed a non-disclosure. He accepted a payout, with the condition he'd remain quiet. But Meri broke the pact, revealing the shocking truth. KODY Brown was driving another ATV just yards away. He heard the crash. Instead of stopping, he kept filming. The rush of adrenaline, the camera rolling, not rescue. The silence, not sympathy. This is the big twist. The father figure witnessed the fall, held the lens, and let the son fall further. When someone with power stays silent, the accident is only the beginning. What followed? Social media uproar, fan backlash, and new questions about love, protection and loyalty in a modern-day family saga. The fallout: fans of the family felt betrayed. Online forums lit up. How could they hide this? Why protect the man who chose the camera? Dayton remains private now. He's rebuilding, but the scars, visible and invisible, remain. This story isn't just about one ATV crash. It's about what happens when the people meant to save you choose to stay silent instead. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if you were in Dayton's boots? Because healing begins when we talk about the silence. Part 2. We begin in the suburbs of Las Vegas, where the Brown family's plural marriage made reality TV history. Kody Brown, wife Christine, and his other wives lived, filmed, and grew children under the watchful eye of cameras. Christine had believed in this life. But the dynamics were shifting. A new wife, shifting loyalties, shifting time. In 2018, the family announced a move, Las Vegas to Flagstaff, Arizona. On paper, a fresh start, a new property, new dreams. But Christine sensed something deeper. Because when you move your entire life for someone, you expect you'll matter more, not less. Flagstaff, mountains, the crisp air, a plot of land called Coyote Pass, envisioned as the family compound. Christine arrived with hope. She believed the move might bring her husband home more often. But soon, the hope dimmed. She wrote in her memoir, "A month after we moved, I learned our son from a different wife was accepted to the university here. I was furious." Christine felt pulled away from her children's friendships and her husband's presence. She questioned, was the move designed for her, or for someone else? When you're chosen for a future you didn't choose, resentment builds quietly. By the time she had settled, Christine realized, Kody's presence in her home was rare. She saw him maybe once or twice a week. Stories floating online claimed even less. He visited but left early. He moved through other wives' houses with ease. Christine felt like a guest in her own home. She voiced it on camera and in private. "I don't feel special anymore. I feel like I'm on the outside looking in." When your partner shows up, but you're still waiting for him to just stay. As the seasons of the show rolled on, the distance became obvious. Christine found herself isolated. Her children felt it. She felt it. Fans began noticing, why didn't Christine's house have footage of cozy family nights with Kody the way others did? Why was she always the one driving to him? Within the family, whispers. Among viewers, speculation. And behind closed doors, the final unraveling began. Because sometimes what goes unseen is the real story. Here's the turning point. The big twist. Christine discovered the truth about where Kody really chose to spend his time. Not at her house. Not with her family. But with Robyn Brown, his fourth wife. While the cameras portrayed a plural marriage in harmony, the reality was, Kody's emotional life was anchored elsewhere. The house he built for his future. It became the place he lived his present. Christine's revelation. She was a weekly guest. Robyn's house was the everyday home. The surprise was not only his absence, but the fact he didn't hide it. The reaction. Fans erupted. Social media blow-up. Favoritism. Second-class wife. What kind of marriage is this? When you openly stake your claim but silently betray the pact, the contract of intimacy is broken. The consequences cascaded. In November 2021, Christine left. The move she made for love became the place she made for freedom. For women watching, this is more than a story about plural marriage. It's a mirror. A question. Are you statistically significant in someone's life, or are you anxiously waiting in the schedule? Drop a comment below. If you were Christine, how many times a week would you accept, once or twice, before you walked away? Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. On the hit reality series Sister Wives, Kody Brown and his plural marriage became an American household story. Wife Christine, along with her sisters in marriage, embraced what seemed like unity. But beneath the glamour was mounting pressure. Christine agreed in 2018 to uproot her children and relocate to Flagstaff to join the Brown family compound. She later confessed, "I never knew when Kody would be home." At the same time, earlier in the family history, Dayton's ATV crash sent shockwaves through the Brown narrative. According to online posts, Kody has told so many lies, starting with lying about Dayton being in his care when he had his ATV accident. Christine's hope for intimacy collided with Kody's invisible schedule. Dayton's hope for protection collided with silence. Why was Kody absent when Christine needed him most, and silent when Dayton needed rescue? It was a sunny afternoon. The trail rough. Dayton Brown mounted the ATV. According to Reddit commentary, Dayton never drove an ATV before and Kody was not supervising him. The vehicle tipped, the helmet strap loosened. The impact was harsh. Recovery followed. Physical scars, emotional distance, erased camera time. Behind the scenes, fans speculated. One post read, "Was Dayton's ATV accident actually with Kody?" For Christine, that moment echoed later. She watched her husband ride ATVs with his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, while her home sat silent. What if the fall wasn't just physical, but symbolic of everything that fractured afterward? Picture Christine in her new home in Flagstaff. Boxes unpacked. Kids in school. A family reportedly united. Yet every evening she looked for one person, Kody. And he appeared, rarely. She confessed, "I always knew when you, Robyn, were here. I never knew when Kody would." Meanwhile, Kody spent long stretches at Robyn's house. His presence there became regular. His presence at Christine's, episodic. Fans sent comments like, "God, what lucky women to be married to such a childish-ass clown like Kody Brown." Christine's voiceover. She felt like a guest in her own marriage. Her kids noticed. Her heart broke quietly. When you're living in the same house but not in your husband's story, what part of you remains? As the episodes aired, viewers sensed the imbalance. One Reddit user wrote, "That was my take as well. He pretty much has said he never loved Christine." Christine's distance and Dayton's estrangement both became metaphors for the crack forming beneath the public narrative. Christine cited the lack of Kody's presence with their children as a key reason for their split. In the background, the legal shift. Kody told his remaining wives to conform to patriarchy after Christine announced she was leaving. Behind the cameras, this was no longer documentary, it was drama. How do you fight for your place when you're told your place is only a part of the design? Here is the turning point. The big twist. The house where Kody spent his days, the landscape where Christine gravitated for love, and the trail where Dayton crashed, these threads converge. Dayton's accident happened with Kody present, but silent. His loyalty to his kids fractured. Christine's marriage to Kody ended because his loyalty to her was intermittent. The same man, the same system, served two different outcomes. A son injured and fading from the family, a wife moved and sidelined. Online fans erupted, posting backlash, favoritism, emotional neglect. What kind of marriage is this? One fan on Reddit put it bluntly, And after that you see Sobhan look for the cameras, the performance they put on after. This isn't just a polygamy story. It's a story about time, choice, and invisible wounds. When your husband chooses to be present somewhere else, your presence becomes optional. The aftermath. Christine left the marriage in November 2021 after nearly 28 years. Dayton continues to keep his distance. KODY is rebuilding, but not everywhere. The house in Flagstaff where it all unraveled. Sold. "This is where my heart broke," he said. For women watching, what this shows is critical. The promise of shared time is only as real as the one who shows up. The trauma of a crash is only as deep as the one who reaches out. Your worth isn't measured by your place in someone's schedule. Post-event analysis. The legal and emotional fallout of a plural marriage that failed publicly echoes deeper problems: lack of emotional accountability, unequal investment, and the silent cost of being one of many. To understand what tore them apart, we first need to know what brought them together. Plural marriage wasn't born on television. It was born in 19th century Utah, outlawed by the U.S. government in 1890, and driven underground for more than a century. When Sister Wives premiered in 2010, it was a cultural lightning strike, the first time a modern plural family went mainstream. Legal gray zones meant every public move was a risk. In 2013, Utah's cohabitation law was ruled unconstitutional, only to be narrowed again years later. Living this life meant living half in love, half in fear. For KODY Brown, the cameras gave validation. For his wives, exposure came with a cost. When your love story is also a legal gamble, which vow do you protect first, your heart or your freedom? Therapists call it the time-attention paradox. In plural marriages, attention becomes the currency of worth. Christine wasn't asking for luxury, she was asking for presence. Dayton's silence after his accident mirrors the same emotional withdrawal Christine later described: physical healing without emotional repair. Dr. Karen Ryan, a family systems expert, explains, when attachment is inconsistent, the brain reads absence as rejection. The scars don't show, but they last longer. On Reddit, one viewer wrote, "You can almost see Christine counting the minutes of his love." This wasn't about jealousy, it was about survival. Every skipped dinner, every missed call, they were tiny abandonments adding up to one goodbye. By 2023, the dust had settled, and the stories had diverged. Christine Brown found new love and married David Woolley in Moab, Utah, in 2023, surrounded by children and laughter. Fans hailed it as poetic justice. Janelle pursued her independence, launching health ventures. Meri chose distance. And Dayton, he stepped away from the spotlight completely, seeking peace in privacy, proof that some wounds choose silence over spectacle. KODY'S world, once full, grew smaller. Even his Flagstaff home, the symbol of his dream, was sold. On Facebook, a fan summed it up: Christine's glow up is the sequel we needed. The show continues, but the family that started it will never be the same. From fractured beginnings to fearless rebirth, every ending was also someone else's beginning. This story isn't just about faith or family, it's about time, who we give it to, and what it costs us when we give it away. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe for more real-life deep dives into lives behind the camera, and share this video with a friend who's ever felt invisible in their relationship. Drop a comment. If you were Christine or Dayton, what moment would you walk away from? Because in the end, it's not only about the accident you survived, or the move you made, it's about the person who never made time for you when it mattered most. Thank you for watching. Remember, your time matters. Your presence matters. Your voice matters. Stay strong, stay seen.